I do feel a bit like myself from 3 years ago. Maybe 4 years ago? I don't know. The last time I had my beard this short. I can't remember exactly, but it does feel weird. It does feel very odd not having, you know, a head of hair on your on your face. But today is a different video. It's always different every day. It's every day it's different, bro. Every day. But today I want to talk about something that I really did love. I used to love it, and it's sad to see something you love die. And that is Collider, or AMC for back in the day. Now, I used to watch Collider Movie News, AMC Movie Talk in 2013, I think, is when I started watching it. And I watched it religiously, like every single day for maybe 3 years. I think up to 2016 I watched it every day and everything they put out, and then they just started putting out a lot of stuff. Like there was Star Wars news, and then Jedi Council, and then Heroes, and that was like 2017 I think that stuff started. And I sort of started watching Jedi Council, but Star Wars is sort of dead to me now. But I did watch Heroes still at that point, so I used to watch hours of Collider content every week. Honestly, hours. I probably watched hours every day, which is ridiculous considering it's basically a I mean, you know, it's a movie news podcast for all intensive purposes, and it's just crazy how much I used to listen to it, how much time it used to take up. I mean, you do other things while doing it, but still, it's a lot of time. And I used to love it so much, and it's shoddy now. It's there's nothing which draws me to Collider now at all. I probably stopped watching the movie news regularly maybe a year and a half ago, and I stopped watching even the SCHMOEDOWN a year ago. And I think that Collider has actually, while it helped the SCHMOEDOWN initially, and it had for maybe a year, maybe half the time, I think it's actually been a detriment to the SCHMOEDOWN overall for the last year or more. I think they expanded the SCHMOEDOWN too quickly. There are too many competitors that no one really gives a shit about. I mean, I'd love to be on the SCHMOEDOWN, I'm not going to play, but I think there are just so many competitors, and I mean, I would add to that in a bad way then. There are just so many that, you know, you don't get a feel for them. You can't really get a bond with them, and you can't get a feel. They're characters at the end of the day. That's what they are. And when you have a new person coming in every other week, it sort of dilutes that feeling. And I think they had a really strong cast for all intensive purposes before, of like 25, 30 people who were really strong. They were big characters. Obviously, there were some people who were just weak in there, not in terms of their playing or their movie knowledge, but in terms of the way they portrayed themselves for the SCHMOEDOWN. And that has, I think, taken a hit because of Collider. Now, there are lots of reasons why. I think a big one is they tried to expand too much overall. They had this brand that was growing for a long time. It was progressively just getting more and more people watching every week, and it's stagnated a huge amount now. And there's nothing there that entices me, and I think a lot of people feel the same way. I think it really started when John Campea left. Now, I don't agree with half the stuff Campea says anymore, but, you know, he is a pundit for all intensive purposes. Second time I said that. I'll try and stop saying that one as much. But he is a pundit, and you're not going to agree with everything everyone says. You know, Robin Meyer, I think he's a fun guy. He's not really on Collider very much at all anymore, as far as I know. But Campea leaving was like the initial nail in the coffin, I think. It was because of creative differences, apparently. And then, I think Ellis left then. No, he didn't. No. Schnepp passed away. Yeah, Schnepp passed away, and that was rough, man. I mean, I had a chance of meeting him in London. You know, he was just a good guy. He was just a good guy. I wish I'd had the chance to actually go to the meetup. I had acting class on the day, so I couldn't. But that really like took the soul out out of the company. I don't know. I think he was there and he really brought this gravitas to the whole thing. And again, just like John, I didn't agree with everything he said, but Campia, but Schnepp, he was a character in the room, and he always made it more engaging and interesting and fun. And me being a bit of a comic book, nerd, I guess, and is probably a fair word to say. I didn't have a ton of people when I was young who I could talk about this stuff with, because no one really gave that much of a shit. They'd be like, yeah, I watched that, sure, you're a bit weird. I'm like, I'm a bit weird. And like having this group of people who you're like, they like the things I like, is sort of how the internet can be positive, I guess, in a way. But when Schnepp passed away, I think there was something missing from Collider, and then Ellis left. And Ellis is just a funny guy. I mean, I think he did it to predominantly focus on his stand-up more. So good for him. I hope it works out well in the long term. But again, these integral figures all leaving, you're really... And adding new people, it dilutes the concentrated thing there, which makes it great, and it's getting less and less good. And now, apparently, Christian is leaving as well. So there's genuinely nothing there for anyone who used to watch 4 or 5 years ago to anyone who watched 3 years ago. There's no one there who I think really the brand can be built on. And that's sad, because, I mean, they have some guys who are there who are good. I think Roker, while he's a bit stupid, while I don't agree with all of his opinions, he's a character. You can make something off of him, and he can bring a lot. But I don't think a lot of the other people there can really do much in terms of drawing a crowd, whether that's to the SCHMOEDOWN or to Collider overall. Now, Christian's leaving. Now he's making a show with Campia. I don't know if this is some type of tribal warfare here, where Christian's left Collider, but he owns the SCHMOEDOWN, and he's making a show with Campia, and Campia's making another show with him. I don't know. I think it's going to split the base here. I think a lot of people are just going to go on over to Campia and go to the SCHMOEDOWN again, because really, if you looked at AMC Movie Talk, it's dead. The channel is dead, because everything that was there, all the people who were there, died. And then Collider basically had to bring them all back, because they noticed, shit, it's nothing without the people who, the actual personalities who made the show. There's nothing there. It's just a studio with nothing in it. And I think they're going to come across the same thing again. The cycle is going to repeat itself. The Padawan will become the master, and I think Collider is going to go down potentially the same route as AMC Movie Talk did. And I think, Christian, you made probably the right decision the way it was going. I think you should take a couple of the guys with you, personally. I was going to say, no, not her. Take Josh McCougar with you. I think he's a fun guy. I used to watch his show on YouTube. I think he could actually be a late night host. He has that feel to him. He's very friendly. He's very weirdly charismatic. I think he could do that type of stuff. Just needs to be more mainstream, I guess. But I think take a couple of the guys, maybe a couple of the girls. Yeah. No, maybe not. I don't know. You know them better than any of us. But I think starting your own thing is probably a better idea than trying to clog along with Collider, which just is going nowhere. And I think the main reason, as I've said and stated, is because the personalities who made the show are no longer there. It's like making a TV show. Honestly, it's like making Friends, and then 4 seasons in, taking out Phoebe and replacing her with a random new character. And then in season 5, taking out Joey and replacing him with a new character. And season 6, taking out Chandler and replacing him with a different character. Eventually, people are going to be like, where are my characters? I want my lads. And I think they just tried to evolve too quickly. They made too many shows that just didn't stick. They were making too much content that not enough people wanted, and I think they've come a cropper for it. I think they've really mucked up with the amount they thought people were gonna watch of their content instead of other content, and they overplayed it. Really, when you look at that show, when you look at the setup of it, there should be a couple of things on Collider. There should be a movie talk show. There should potentially be a sports show. I know it's going to take a while to get the audience there, but I think a sports show, a movie show, try and be like a Barstool Sports. I know I've been watching a bit of them recently, but I'm not super into American sports, but I like the personalities, and that's the thing. Maybe a comic book show and maybe a Star Wars show, but forget all this other shit. Like, don't do any of this other stuff. I know they've done a podcast, and I think that's doing relatively well. It's taken a long time to build it, and they've been building off of another subscriber base and another subscriber base, you know, the SCHMOEDOWN, Collider, just to make the podcast work. And when Christian's eventually gone off that podcast, I mean, what the hell is going to be there? Like, why is someone going to watch that? I don't get it. I don't. I think that we're going to see another brand die here, and it's a sad thing to witness, but it's the way the world works. They got too big for the boots. You're never too big for the boot. I got the big size 12s on my feet. Your face ain't big for the boot. That was that was Stormzy. If you don't know, British rapper, grime artist. He's quite good. He's quite good. Not great, but he's good. I like him. I like him. Some of the stuff he says is a bit stupid, but like, that's with everyone, I guess. Everyone says stupid shit. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel down there. If you didn't, then you'll be collided with a If you didn't, then you will die as Collider has done. I can't say that. Dying is not a good word. If you didn't, then you will go down the path Collider have gone down. You don't want that. Life is a precious thing, you know. You don't want to, you know, the word beginning with D ends in I. You don't want that. You really don't. So just subscribe anyway to avoid that. I've been NarendraTheComic. You have been great. I'll see you next time. Skadoosh.